Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Angelika's Journal. Today we're going to be potting up some seeds. Well, not potting up, but like starting seeds. I think today is the 8th of March, tomorrow's the 9th. It's Friday. So I think it's the 8th. I'm not sure. This is a tray of water. I'm trying to pre-soak my hibiscus. And then I have my tubers here. Now, I did take the shavings off that it was in, and it looked like there was a sprout last year. Like I said, these are a year old, so most likely they're not even going to work, but I'm not going to, just toss them out. I am going to give them a chance. So I'm just taking all the wood chips off that I can. And so we're going to plant these. And then I'm going to do my hibiscus and my Draceana. Those are all three house plants. Now, Draceana, they say to do in January. But here we are, March, and I'm just getting started now. This is my water tray, my watering can. I have this for when you want to control the amount of watering. This if you want to give the whole thing moisture. I've got my two little tools. And this I use to scoop the soil. This is my paper towel and my plastic bags that I start the seeds in. So these are the houseplant ones. And then anything that's 10 weeks or more, I'm going to do now. I believe we're at the 10-week mark. Sorry. So today is Friday, March 8th, and Sunday, March 10th, is the 10-week mark. So anything that's up to 10 weeks, like 12 weeks, 14 weeks before the last frost, should have been done by now. I could have started it earlier, but I don't know if you've noticed, I'm pretty much a last minute person. So we're just going to do them all this week. And then next weekend, I can always do the 8 to 10 week ones. And then I'm back on track again. I don't think I need this pot. It was probably because I had one pot for the 10 plus weeks and then one pot for the houseplants, but that's fine. All right, so now we're going to plant these. Now I need something shallow to plant them in. And I think I'm just going to use two of these pots, and that's probably why I had brought that out. Now I'm not going to be planting it like really deep. I'm going to have it in like maybe 3/4 of the way in. Because you want about 2 or 3 inches of soil. And then there's a little bit of room around it that you will be watering it. But you don't want it too deep. You just want it deep enough so that it can develop its roots. And then once the roots come out the bottom, which is why I like these pots, once the roots come out the bottom, and you can then pot it up to a bigger pot, which would be the green one. So now if I had planned this properly, I would have gotten some more perlite and then made this or vermiculite or anything like that to make better drainage. You don't want them to be too wet because then they'll rot. Tubers, you got to be really careful with. But we're going to just do this. And hopefully they have survived and they will be fine. So it's about halfway soil. So probably at this point, now the way you plant them is where it's got a pool, like where it caves in, that's the top. The bottom is kind of round. That's where all the roots are, the dried up roots. So you're going to plant them like that with the bowl upwards. So when you water it, you have to be careful not to get water in the bowl, which is why I have this. Because with this, I can control and water just around the outside and not get any on the inside. And it does not need a lot of water. It just needs moisture. It does not need to be, like a whole bunch of moisture. And then we're going to pack the soil. Actually, I'm going to switch to this one. And then we're just going to pack it around the outside. And then once we pack it around the outside, like I've never grown these before from tubers. Last year was supposed to be my first year, but as you see, I never did plant them. So now if this does not work, I'll probably just end up buying some in the store. I'm not going to buy the tubers again. And for sometimes it's just easier to just buy them already started from the greenhouse. Like I said, I've never grown tubers. I don't grow potatoes, like nothing that's tubers. I think irises are tubers, and there are a lot of other ones. I just rather not. But I thought, give it a try. I can't say that they're hard to grow or anything because I've never done it. So I thought, you know what? Let's do this. And then I never got around to it. And it's like, all right, let's see if these are still viable. I have no idea. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little sprinkle on top, half a scoop there, or like a little scoop, I should say, not a half. There. You just got to remember that. See, these were at room temperature for the whole year. So if you think of it, if it's been at room temperature for the whole year, it hasn't had its cold time. So maybe I should be putting these in the fridge or in the freezer. I have no idea. And I didn't see any videos on using old begonias. So they're just around the outside. There. And you're supposed to cover it. So we'll take these plastic bags. I'll fold in the edge. And we will just cover it with the plastic bag. There you go. I'll do another one on the other one. Fold the edge in. And then cover it. And then we're supposed to put it in the light. So let's see if I have a tray somewhere. Actually, I may use these two little trays. They are glazed on the inside. They're terracotta, but the inside is glazed to hold water. So we will put it like that. And I will put it in the living room on my coffee table. They don't want a whole lot of light. So I'm just going to put it over here. And then hopefully that will grow. And this wood chips I'm going to keep, and we're going to use it in the garden. When I go to enrich the soil, I'll just, we don't want to throw anything away. Everything is reusable. Whoops. Even old soil is reusable, right? So I'll put that over there. Pick up the scoop. All right. So now we've got this thing. I think, actually, wait a minute. I gotta clean this off because I'm gonna be using a lot of water on here now. And this is gonna turn muddy. So let's put it in the bag. There we go. All right, so now we're going to take one of these because I do all my seeds with paper towel. So we're going to spritz it a bit. Now I need my little tweezers. I could use that too. All right. I brought all these out. Now, we're going to take, you don't want to pinch it too hard. Just gently. Whoop. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to use my fingers. I don't know if it'll work with my fingers though. There we go. All right, so we're going to be folding this in half. So you figure the middle line, I'm going to put one right there. If it'll come off my finger. And then now these are hibiscus. No, hibiscus. Yeah. I don't know. You can tell the English language is foreign to me. It was not my first language when I was a kid. So we're just going to put, and for some that are hard-shelled, a fair-sized seed, you can pre-soak them like I did. It's not necessary, but I just choose to. It's supposed to soften the seed so that when you go to plant, like it'll sprout quicker. I had to stop and think there. And then I'm trying to make sure that they're somewhat spread out so that they each have their own little space. They're 3, 2, 3. Nice. And then we're going to fold this over like that. Make sure it's nice and wet. You want to make sure it's wet. All right, now I am going to take my bag and I'm going to mark on it hibiscus. Yeah. I don't know how to spell hibiscus. Hisbiscus. Okay. Hisbiscus. And it's coralline, I believe. The variety. Yeah, coralline. So it's going to be like a corally orange kind of color. And this is in North America, like here in Canada, these are houseplants. And look how many seeds I have. So if you live in southern Alberta, if these work, I'll do the whole package and I'll be getting rid of them. So if you live in southern Alberta and I get them all done, you can always contact me to get a free one. But that won't be for a while. Now the opening is on the top. This is the folded side. And I do it that way so that if I want to check, I can just go like this and check on the seeds if they've sprouted. And then we just zip it up. Oh yeah, and today's date, which I said was what? The 10th? No, the 8th. Today's Friday, yeah, the 8th. So then I'll put the date on here, MR 8. So I know when I started it, and what, in case they don't sprout, I know when to give up on it. Okay, so hold on. Okay, I got one more light I gotta turn off. There. I just turned on the heating pad. Like I showed you on a previous video, I put the heating pad, I put the bamboo shelf with the spacing and then a tray on top. So now all the ones I start will go on that tray. Okay, so now we're gonna take the next one, the opening here, kind of center it so that I know where the center is. Take the next seed of, package of seeds. This is the Draceana. Now this is the green foliage, the one that people put in the center of arrangements. Now this one, we're gonna put it directly on. It's pretty much the same size seeds as the other one. And I have a lot of seeds in here. But I bought them in 2022, so it's 2 years old. So I'm going to have to use them up. So that one's also done. And then I will take this, spread them out, halfway point. Yeah, I'm just moving them apart, using up the space. That's why half a sheet of this smaller paper towel is all you need. You know what I mean? You don't really need a lot more space. And that's 3, 6, 9, 10 seeds. So then this way when they sprout, they have their own space because the roots will, when it sprouts, it will go into the paper towel. Okay, so we're gonna fold it in half. Spritz. Flip it over. Spritz. Grab your bag. March 8, MR8. This one is Draceana. And that's it. For houseplants, that's all I do. When it comes to the other ones, I will add on, where's the opening on that side? I will add on other information. But for the houseplant ones, I don't. So there we go. I'm not squeezing out the air. And that goes on the tray. All right, so now the houseplants are done. I'll put them away. There. Next. All right, now the next ones is geranium, pansies, viola, foxglove, rudbeckia, dianthus, alpine strawberries, Regina strawberries, Utah celery, Tango celery, and Amsterdam celery. 10 to 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks, 10 to 12. December to February. So this probably should go first. 10 to 14, so we'll put that here. 10 to 14, 10 to 12. Why does this one start indoors under bright lights mid-February? I don't know. February 15th. What would February 15th be? Mid-February would be 14 weeks. All right, so we'll put it with 10 to 14. 8 to 12. So I could even do that at 8 weeks. 10 to 12, 10 to 14, 10 to 14, 10 to 14. Oh no, 10 to 14 is, yeah, that's it. All right, so the reason why I do it this way is because, oh, I just did it backwards, didn't I? Is because some seeds need more time, and if there's a lot of seeds, here, I'm going to have to switch it the other way around. If there are a lot of seeds and I decide it's too many to do in one day, I'll finish it tomorrow, or, you know, and then something else happens and I get distracted, and then it'll be, you know, the next day and then the next day. So you want to do the ones that need the most amount of time. And if it says 10 to 14, that means it can be started at 14 weeks. So I see it more as 14, and then 10 to 12, I see it as a 12-week one. So, and if I would have started at 14 weeks instead of at, what are we now, 10 weeks? Yeah, 10 weeks. If I would have started it at 14 weeks, I would have started with the strawberry. So that's why I do that. Now, strawberries have very fine seeds, and a lot of people will sow it right in the soil. They could be also very sensitive to transplant. But I will still do it this way. This is the method I am the most comfortable with. Wait, the middle, say it's here. So here. This is the method I am the most comfortable with. And so this is why I do sometimes buy plants, seedlings and plants, like in the garden, I mean in the greenhouse, like from the stores, because you always have things going on, and sometimes it's just easier to buy 1 or 2 plants from a greenhouse, or like, you know, Home Depot or whatever, just because it's easier, more convenient, and I have no problem with that. Also, a lot of plants, including strawberries, they will sprout babies, and then if you, as they make the babies, if you poke it in the ground, it will make another plant. So if you have a container that's, let's say, 2 feet by 2 feet, you only need 1 plant, or I should say you could start with just 1 plant in the middle. Now when it makes a baby, you branch it out and poke it in the ground. Then that becomes a plant. And you just keep doing that all spring and summer, mostly probably early summer, and you're going to end up with tons of fruit anyways. So you don't really need a lot. But I will use half this package of seeds in this. See how fine they are? Like, worst scenario, say I can't, the sprouts are so small I can't transplant them. What I'll do is I'll cut around, and I'll just put this right on top of let's say something like this, and just put some soil on top, the paper is going to decompose. It's paper towel, right? So it will decompose. So there's nothing wrong with putting the whole thing, like on all of them. You could just cut around and then just put it on top of the soil. But the only thing is, because of the arrangements, I'd need a rectangular pot to sit it on, right? Or you'd have to cut it in half and then put it on 2 pots. But there is a way. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a solution. Yeah, my strawberry planter, I think I only stuck 4 plants in it last year, and the planter was completely packed full. Okay, so this one is Strawberry Regina. So March 8, Strawberry Regina. All right, and then I look for any other it's ever-bearing. Full sun to part shade. So F/S and then an arrow PS. So that's full sun to partial shade. So if it's in a bit of shade, it won't mind. And barely cover the seeds, find moisture in containers, sealed plastic bag, refrigerate for 3 to 4 weeks. Wait a minute. Tuck seeded containers inside sealed plastic bags and refrigerate for 3 to 4 weeks. Allow the sealed container to come to room temperature and place over bottom heat. Keep the trays under bright lights. It takes 7 to 42 days. So it says I should refrigerate them for 3 to 4 weeks. So you know what? Good thing I marked March 8th. Now that's if you put it in a pot. I have it in paper towel. But in the past I have had problems with it. So I will put it at least 2 weeks. Refrigerate, fridge, 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And then when I bring it out, I'll let it go to room temperature, put it on heat. What did it say? Okay, then it's going to be warm. Oh no, room temperature. Room temp. Then it's bottom heat. With lights. Okay, so this is number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. See, you can scribble whatever you want on this. So if I would have read it beforehand, I'm doing the video, so I'm not quite prepared. But normally I would sit down, take my time, read it. Like, to do 1 pack of seeds could take me up to 15 minutes because I need to read the seed package, write down pertinent information that I'm going to need to know, and then I'm going to do the seeds in the paper towel and then stick it in the bag. And then put it where it goes. So we're going to stick this one in the refrigerator. So now I have to find a spot in the fridge that's going to be okay for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to get dinged and wrecked and bumped and everything. So this one, This one does not say to refrigerate it. It's strawberry alpine. So this one, we know it likes the light, because the other one said to put it in light. So maybe with this one, because it does not say to refrigerate it, see, technically you could even put the package in the fridge if you're going to use the whole package. Just stick it in the fridge, and then that is its chill time. There we go. And I do have enough seeds that I could, oh, I'm missing my paper clips. I usually have paper clips so I can clip these. What was I going to say? Yeah, what I might do is just direct sow it in the garden too. Because I have done that. And yeah, it's taken a couple of weeks, but they start growing right away. And really, like if you look at the harvest, see, this package used to say how long till harvest. Actually, I think this one did. "42 days something." Somewhere I read it doesn't say neither one of these. Sometimes it'll tell you 42 days till harvest or 60 days till harvest. So then, yeah, if March 8th, I'm doing the seeds, and then let's say I actually planted by April 8th, and then you then wean it outside in mid-May, and then it gets planted outside end of May, beginning June. From March 8th till June 8th, March, April, May, June, that's 90 days. So, unless you can do it faster, you just got to look at your plant when it's ready for the next step. And so then if you plant it in the garden and then it's 60 days. So if I plant it in the garden, let's say June 1st, I'll start getting strawberries August 1st. But I don't use that as 100% rule, because depending on the type of season you have, if you have colder weather and a lot of rain, then they could rot. They could, like end up too deep in the soil. A lot of variables. The birds could be eating them if they're too close to the top. But if you have the hotter weather and you have to go around and water everything because it's so hot and it makes the soil dry, then maybe it'll go quicker. Like, there's just so many variables. Any information on these are not 100%. They're guidelines. Anyways, so now this one is the strawberry alpine. So we'll do the next one. And after this, I'm going to let you go, because it's just basically the same routine. I'm going to write this higher just in case I got notes. Strawberry alpine. See here it says 90 to 100 days to harvest. So that's 3 to 4 months. 3.5 months. So if I put it out in June, It'll be July, August, September 1st, I'll get a bunch of strawberries. But it depends on your weather. Like our winters have been so mild that maybe we're going to have a mild spring, which means then I can start putting stuff outside. And as I'm starting to put stuff outside, well, then the countdown starts from when I plant it, right? So anyway, so there's the alpine strawberries, which I'm going to put over there. And the Regina is going to go in the fridge. And we're going to see if there's a difference. They're both strawberry. Maybe because the varieties are different. I don't know. So I still have dianthus, foxglove, geraniums, pansies, rudbeckia, celery, and viola, the Johnny Jump Up. So I will do those off camera, put them all on the tray, write the information that I need from the packages, and then I will put it back in the container. And yeah, and then I'll be back when there's something new developing, or the next step, whatever the next step will be. So I hope you enjoyed this. I tried to include as much tidbits as I could. If you have any questions, just comment down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and remember to do what makes you happy, and everything else will fall into place. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. I just realized I went to the next seed package and I realized I didn't explain to you something else that I do. When the seed package is empty, I do not throw them away right away. What I do is I put a black Sharpie black line on it, and then I put it back. Because when it comes time to ordering seeds, I know that I've already planted this one. I can check it's a perennial, so I do not need to buy this again. It's just to help me with the next gardening season. So I leave it in here with the black line. And so when I order next year, I have that as a reference. If it's an annual and I really liked it, then I'm going to want to plant it again. If I liked it, that means it was viable. I was able to sprout it, because some are more difficult, right? So this one, I know it's a perennial. I've planted it. Don't buy it again. And this one, I did plant some in the pot, but I think I planted some in the garden too. So in my perennial bed. So it's a perennial. I'll add it to my perennial bed this year. And then it'll just keep coming up every year because it's a perennial. If it's an annual, then it goes in a pot. It'll always go in a pot. And then, you know, I'll know that it was one that I like and that I buy and that it was good. And, you know, so just, I wanted to add that in. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.